Hello and welcome to this fiery red sky in the evening star square under the great trees plural, for what is the level 22 episode of Trials of the Tempest. And my word, have they become trials in the face of what the developers have thrown at us this week with this Illithid invasion. We're never likely to see an Illithid, of course, which has been one of the bones of contention in the forums. But the thing we are seeing, these psionic champions, every red crown now being one of those, is, as we saw in the last episode, seriously skewing the balance of the game enough that I think many of us have had to, well, either lower the difficulty. In my case, I've been playing systematically on Elite, whereas apart from a couple of bits in very early Epic with the Purple series, normally it's been Reaper 1. The sort of spike in damage taken and in not being able to kill the opponents is such that if you get two or worse, still three of those things at once, you're going to be in real trouble, as the last recording amply showed. There seems to be quite a debate. Apologies for talking more about this than the build and stuff itself, but there seems to be quite a debate on the forum at the moment about the event in general. One thing I would like to have seen, echoing some of the sentiments made there, was an option to opt out of this event. They made an option to opt out of things like the Mimic event, which in my opinion skews the game far less in terms of spiky difficulty, and you actually know when the things are going to pop up, so you're ready for them. I'm just a bit disappointed in terms of this series because what I try to do is to go on a comparable difficulty so we can kind of judge where we are, in relation to previous lives and builds we've tried, see how strong we are, or where we're strong and where we're not so strong. And because of the situation here, it's just not been possible. So what is happening now is we're having a situation where the lion's share of the time on Elite we're really wrecking the opponents. Everything is going down in a few swipes, especially when we trigger this haste boost and get the 50 extra melee power from the prowess set we've got on the weapons. I mean, those weapons, those drow scimitars of the weapon master, they don't mess about, they just carve things to pieces. So that's been a lot of fun, but I'm just sorry that we can't measure ourselves, against previous builds, because it's simply too spiky to allow for that. I don't have the healing in. I think what would have happened normally on Reaper mode, the odd champion would have cut us down health-wise a little bit, and in between battles, without the Reaper nerf, we would have healed up. But these things, especially if they appear in 2 or 3, you just don't get that luxury. You need the healing in the combat because it's taking you so long to put them down that you would die before they do. And yeah, it's kind of spoiled the sort of vibe of the series for me. I would have liked consistency. To measure where we are. I have a suspicion that we're in a good place here compared to past melee lives. I bet we could handle, similar stuff to what our monk self could do. And bear in mind he was backed up by the nice crowd control from the bird. I think that's quite a compliment for where we are with this. I mean, granted, I spent the sort of 10 of the 12 minutes of the last video explaining how nice the gear was relative to usual. This 5-piece Saltmarsh epic set, I can't tell you how nice it is or how easy they are to upgrade the level 3 from the level 3 to the level 20, sorry, so you can have it in early epic. There's so little nice equipment that is available for early Epic. I strongly encourage you to go for these Saltmarsh ones and or Borderlands type stuff. You can sort of mix and match to suit and maybe keep a Shan set on top of it, as I've done here. And that could prove quite a nice base for gearing to Epic. I don't plan to change any of this until we get to the cap. Perhaps when we get to 29 I'll do a sneaky swap for a sentient Barovian weapon, but that'll be it. I'll stick that in the offhand slot. But yeah, it's not sour grapes. It just felt it's deflating whenever you lose, of course. But to sort of walk into that quest, after having made an effort to gear up last time and to be as good as we could be, and then just get absolutely hammered by this new mechanic, it felt frustrating. I'll leave it at that. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there who kind of echo that, but I'm not going to belabor the point any more than I have already. But that is the reason why I'm going to be sticking to Elite for the foreseeable future, because even on Elite, I just finished the Evening Star 1 chain, and the last one, the Battle for Evening Star. A couple of the bosses in there, the mini bosses on the way to the end, in the 3 areas, the granary and this area and that area. One of them is that Drow priestess, and I know she's a pain anyway, respawning if anything's near. Well, she was a psionic, obviously, and doubly painful. She was hurting us and taking quite a lot to chip down each time, and then when those spiders pop back up again and you have to do it again, it was purgatory, but we did get through. But yeah, it kind of feels like the goalposts have changed too much, in my opinion. I mean, yes, I get what people are saying, just lower your difficulty, and I've been known to, Reaper 1 or 2 in Epics with this series most of the time, and now we're systematically doing Elite. But even on Elite, we're running into some situations where we are struggling for our lives, even with the full healing from our renewal and these 2 others. So that tells you just how much the difficulty has spiked by adding these things in. Let's not spend the whole of the waffle talking about bloody psionics, eh? Reaper points. So I mentioned I was going to settle them down, putting the 4th core in each. This feels like a real nice milestone for Purple too. The time at the cap doing the legendary questing, helping in Reaper 6 quests, helping some of our squishier characters felt great, and he's now been able to get 2 cores, which doubly helpful now, because these Reaper cores, if you didn't know, not the first ones, but 2 to 6 apply outside of outside of Reaper mode as well. So we've got especially these nice 4th cores, very nice to have. Okay, going back to the hot topic of the moment, those psionic things. I'm led to believe that insta-kills are good against them, because I don't think any of them have the death ward. Well, that's all well and good, but it's not helpful for us, is it? And force damage, again, not particularly helpful to us. We could, as somebody mentioned in the forum, I can't bring it up here, can I? Yes, I can. We could go into Feydark for the illusory weaponry, or better still, be a charisma build and use the force shadow blades, but we're not, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. I've mentioned that, and yes, basically even on Elite when we encounter one of those psionics, unless it's a, you know, an insignificant thing like a little spider, systematically we go down to half health, regardless of what I do. You know, haste boost, elaborate parry, whatever it happens to be, it still gets me to half health immediately, and you just think, crikey, yeah. And that's one on its own. I don't even want to get started on 2 or 3. Feat for 22 was perfect 2-weapon fighting. That surprised me a little bit. I thought it was going to get us the rest of the way to the... let's show you if we can. To the 100% offhand attack trigger, but we can see here that's 80% chance to produce offhand attacks now. Our Tempest Core 6, I think, gives us... no, there's something giving us another 10%, isn't there? I'm sure I've seen it. It's not there. There, 10% offhand strike chance, so it's the whirlwind. So we're on 90 now. I was thinking that would take us to the 100, but it hasn't done. Instead, it's given us more damage, I think it is, with the offhand. Yes, 65% double strike with the offhand instead of base 50%. So not terrible. Not what was expected, but not terrible. Okay, so for this one, I mentioned I'd just completed Evening Star 1. I thought we would try a little run through the Evening Star 2, the Sschindylryn. So going in there via the Evening Star cavern, having opened up the portal in the Underdark. As I've mentioned previously, the House of Rusted Blades is always a nice one to have a go at, because you never quite know what nice drow weapon you might get as a reward from there. Some of them can be worth a lot of shards. The scimitars we're using on this build is one. Great Axe, Maul of the Weapon Master is certainly worth a shard or 2. I guess Longsword, that could be used on some builds.
Through the bars of this portcullis shines the dim glow of House Undone.
While we're out here, 2 things. I'll reiterate, I took favoured enemy elf, so we should be okay, or in a better position against these than we would otherwise have been. And secondly, the web line trip of the Driders, which I've never really found a counter for. It seems like evasion, reflex save evasion is a counter for it, because we're not getting knocked down by it. So that's nice. If you don't know this quest, nothing at all happens until we get to the first room where the Battle Master's weapon rack is that we have to ruin. And if you have a DDO, you can really trivialize it. Sadly, we don't. Epic Destinies, I'm sticking with Dreadnought for the action boost side of things, because that's in tune with what we're trying to do with the build, play around the haste boost. Unyielding for the energy resist and the renewal, and the main one I'm hoping is going to be Crusader. although I still have the Dread mantle at the moment. I think I'll swap it over at 23 when you can get a 1W bonus in Crusader for being a follower when you're using your favoured weapon. We can convert Scimitar to our favoured weapon. Okay, so what we would normally do here with a DDO, we just press this and DDO out. Here we can't, so we'll just have to prepare for the fight. See if we can make it over there first.
All that remains is to make the fact
Defend the door as I am wont to do. Try not to get shot by all that stuff from behind. See, we've got at least one psionic in there already, which is not good times. Okay, because he was on his own, I don't think he was too bad. Right. I think we got quite lucky there was only one there. So now just back to the courtyard, ring the bell and trigger the end fight. If you are looking to make a few shards in the game, you could do a lot worse than run this daily on a legendary character and try to drop some tasty drow weapons.
Suddenly an angry voice booms from up above.
Gonna try and set up shop in a corner here.
Why have you rung the bell? What? Nothing to say for yourself?
Let's remember our
Warriors of Dunrobar, attack! My weapons! What have you
no
done?
step missed, Hood of Unrest. Okay. Can we get rid of you? Yes, we did. I think we need to get rid of you quickly as well. Nice. Do we see any more scions? Hope not. We're pretty defensible against these archers, but we're not going to last forever. Okay, can we get you in the corner out of the way of everything else? Get the boost going, get the elaborate parry on. Nice. Now how much of this are we going to have to kill to enable us to open the chest in peace? I think that should do. Okay, good stuff.
Just like the weapon masters played.
Go on, give us a juicy weapon live. Maybe something for our next live. Warhammer of the Weapon Master, I don't see that going for too many shards, if any. But okay, I think that would be a niche build at best. I don't know of many, if any, Warhammer builds. Still, it's something. I think if you're interested, the ones that would go for shards, Rapier, Scimitar, Great Axe, Maul, Longsword perhaps. I think those might be the better ones to try if you're trying to make something out of it. Am I even going the right way here? I think so. Okay. So we're looking for something to the right. Here and down there, I think, across a long bridge into another area. For a long time I didn't play this content. I just got totally lost and just ignored it when I had it at first. But once you get used to the
other noble houses, House
the layout of the place, it's not too bad.
Close to its merchandise.
It's decent XP and it's part of... have I gone the wrong way again? No, I think it's okay. It's part of several Evening Star sagas, this chain. So worth running if you can. Nice for a bit of something different too, because with it being just epic, you obviously never do it on your way up in heroic, so there's that too. Now these doors are all pickable, varying degrees of difficulty, but if, as in our case, you find yourself having to smash them, a group of guards will come every time to investigate, so I like to just defend the door.
The illusion spell, you appear to be just one more harmless captive, waiting to be bound and forced into service.
Same thing here, back behind the door. I don't have boost this time, so we're doing well enough, carving things up as mentioned. Speed of the attacks and the number of crits is quite satisfying, except when you run across something that is crit immune, of course, or very resistant to. But even then, we have options, because we have quite a bit of fort bypass between the armor pen on our gear and the precision feat. I think we've got some more from somewhere, haven't we? I can't remember where else do we have fort bypass from. Sometimes when I see a line like that, I like to run out to try and hit them all. Now this is an example. Look at this for a spike in difficulty. Look at the damage. I had heal going there as well. One thing on its own. It's not like we left it for ages before attacking it. It just hammered us. Could and probably should have used the elaborate parry there. So 2 left. Oh, I've made balls of that, haven't I? There's 2 down here somewhere, opposite each other, that I haven't done. Where are they? These 2. Tell you what we'll do. Seeing as they're so close together, we're going to go for a big single boost here. Now, in the days of psionic things, that was a really silly mistake, because look at this now, we've got 2, and look at the mess they've made of us. Really, really stupid. I should have taken it slow and steady, 1 and 1. Trying the elaborate parry, but look at the state again.
The last of the captives have been
Horrible.
freed, and a full riot is underway.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not averse to
Within House of a Fool.
have I got no... Oh, I've got no... I've run out of unpoison things. Oh, that's not good, because the drow are full of it, aren't they? We just have to hope our fortitude save can hold up then. It's pretty good for early epic. So I'll use the bear strategy. She tends to shun poison potions, or potions in general, and just go with... am I even going the right way here? No, I don't think I am. Just go with the saves, hoping for the best. And because I've come back and gone back on myself, I've completely disoriented myself, which happens very often. It's that door there, isn't it? Okay. So let's make use of everything we have here.
What's going on here? Who let these captives out? Get back in your cages now!
Now cast AoE. If that was them and not our crown of colours of the Queen, we don't worry about too much. Well, we worry about that though. That's horrible. Some of their hits can freeze you like that. The poison's not good either.
The slave pen yards lead down into the main slave quarters. You will only find collared, obedient slaves in here.
Okay. So we're looking for, I think is it 3 or is it 4 slave masters? I can't remember. I should do, because I've done this content often enough.
In the kitchens, slaves cook and clean under a slave
You
master's
can free the
watchful eye.
slaves for optional XP, but I'm consistently failing this, as you can see, so I
Slave
don't
master
generally
looks
bother.
you over.
An unbroken slave in my kitchen? Either you are very stupid, or I am very
A
lucky.
city guard. I'm conscious of the fact we have no epic strike at the moment. I could have taken, oops, I could have taken the one in Dreadnought, which is kind of like spring attack, and that's the reason I didn't, because I don't think I'd do well with 2 of those to manage. I like a reasonably small number of buttons to press if possible. I think I've gone wrong again here. I don't think there's any reason whatsoever I should be in here. Oh, maybe there is. Was he one of the targets? No, he wasn't. So it must be on through here. So that was the kitchen. This is the end. Oh, instant boost and defense with the psionic thing popping up, because you just can never tell whether they're going to hammer you or die quickly. Sometimes there's just one on its own and I get absolutely hammered by it, so it's not just the fact there's 2.
Slaves stand beside large looms of spider silk, weaving fine garments for noble drow.
So at
The
least
slave
one
takes
master
quick
down
note
here.
of your bare neck and draws his weapon.
What are you doing here? Slaves, capture the intruder!
Okay, so there's another one somewhere.
The sound of
Is he down
skittering
here?
marks the next room as House Avathul's silk farm.
Oh no, I don't
Slaves
think
that have
so.
outlived their usefulness
I
feed
don't
the
think
spiders
so.
here.
I don't remember a slave master being down here. No, and certainly not in and amongst all that rubbish. So, what have we missed? It's not in there. Definitely not in there. But I think now we're going to have to dispose of these. So, was he up this way? I think I've just gone round the wrong way compared to how I usually do this, and that's what's thrown me out, I think.
In the workroom,
Yeah,
slaves labor
gonna
over
be one
jobs
here
beneath
somewhere,
their
isn't there?
drow masters.
2,
Some
in
are
fact,
tasked the
usually.
slave master quickly calls out.
A revolt!
Show yourself. Where are you? We're not that bad on spot. We should see.
An exasperated voice comes with the sound of an opening door.
What? These collars are supposed to be infallible!
Where is he?
I know you're trying your best.
Oh, he's there.
That really hurts.
Okay. So the fact they're still attacking us tells us there's another one in here somewhere. which is good because it's going to complete the objective.
The slaves are free of
Okay.
their master's control, for now. It is time to face the heart of Avathul's power, the slave breaker.
Right. Now my strategy for the slave breaker is to try not to go into the centre of that room and be hammered by everything.
Down the hall.
Clean that up, slaves. I don't care if your fingers are bleeding. Your miserable lives mean nothing. New captives await me. Who are you? Couldn't wait to give yourself to House Avathul? Very well.
Don't think the boss has seen us yet. You know, this is about as bad a sentient gem in terms of flavour as it could be. We could have done with something like a dragon, couldn't we, for this? Can I just use our little dart to tempt him to come to us? Because otherwise this is going to be a nightmare, isn't it? Let's go with the Hood of Unrest. Elaborate parry. Boost. Everything. Mark him.
You think you can escape us?
Yeah, that's nice.
Slave. House
Okay, can we get rid of the
What are you waiting
crown
for?
down there?
Slaves, get them!
With Avathul,
That stun was the colours of the Queen, by the way. I can't stun anything.
apparatus
I
ensures
wish I could.
the great house will be pulling their support from the others and focusing on their own problems.
Not so clever now we're on our own, are we? No. Okay. So on to the last one, which in my opinion is also the most difficult. I'm not going to do the final one, the ziggurat, which you have to go back to Evening Star 4 to collect. I think it's going to run on long enough as is with just 3. I think you've seen enough to know that the class or the build of Tempest can be fun and effective
Unlike the
Pretty
other
deadly.
noble houses, House Avathul,
in the
with
right
chasm head,
circumstances.
drops
If we
deeper
were
and
backed
deeper
up
into
here
the
by
underdark,
something that could
down
hold
into places
opponents,
that
my
even
god, we'd be
Ra
making a
feared
terrible
tread.
mess of things.
Falling into its depths would most
In a positive
assuredly be
sense.
suicide.
Can we get through there? No.
Through the bars of this portcullis shines
So for the last one I look for a green glowing portal thing,
which
is right in front of us there, and then our gate further on is just to the left of that.
The
Here.
Drow regularly use such the guardhouse ahead leads into a portion of the city dominated by House Sin.
Can we see the next door somewhere? Yes. Am I even going the right way? No. Oh, go away. Okay, now this one, I think the last time I was in here with purple, I can't remember what life we were doing, maybe the Storm Singer, and we had a real nasty death at the hands of some of these necromancers. I think it was the Black Dragon Bolt that got us. Obviously on Elite instead of Reaper we'll be better off healing wise against that, or against anything in general. That's one big plus about running on Elite. You don't have to wait until you're out of combat for a proper heal if you're running alone, so that's quite nice.
This grand courtyard serves as the entry point for the sprawling House Sin compound. According to your sources, the laboratory with the flash stones lies somewhere to the north. House Sin is
This heal is also dirt cheap.
The laboratory with the flash stones should be through the open doorway to the west.
Ah, you need to disappear. Lag, lag, lag. Okay. Let's try and learn from that previous mistake and not do anything to make a massive group of opponents that could contain several of those psionic things. I think it's not the undead ones that do it. I think it's just that, like there, that necro that just did the black dragon. I think it's only the standard ones that do it, not the undeads. So I'm told. Oh, I was wrong, 'cause that was an undead one. Maybe it's only the undead that do it and not the standard ones then, because look at the damage it does. If that's on Reaper and I'm struggling to heal in combat, yeah, not good times.
You have found a box of flash stones. Use them to destroy
and that's obviously with energy resist, so we have a decent acid resist. Imagine how that would be if you had, say, 20 or under. You'd be making a proper mess. Oh, I always forget those. Still something?
The unexpected glare of torches lights the room. No doubt this is where the House Sin wizards study the scrolls they have plundered from the surface.
I think there's a key in here, isn't there? Now, one of you mentioned to me I can just go in here, hit the cauldron, disappear quickly, and the cats get blown up by the explosion and don't follow you out of the room. So that's a handy way to avoid facing a nasty threat there. So now is the hard part. We need to go and try and find the key to the kitchen. There is an easy way to get through this if you are a high level rogue and can pick locks. You can kind of go straight to the end fight when you get in here, but sadly that ain't an option for us. Come on, put him down, come on. Yeah. Okay. So it can be in two places. This, oh, it's just done that. You little bugger. So yes, I leave you to imagine what a group, I think Purple ran into a group of, there were 4, maybe 5 necromancer casters. And it didn't end well for the poor thing. So the key can be in here or in another room downstairs with spite. Oh crud, that's got to be a boost. Hood of Unrest. Heals. Yeah, two of those is instant alarm. Wow. Okay. So, I think the Black Panthers might keep spawning as long as the priestess is around, so especially as she's a psionic, she's got to die quickly. And I don't think she's going to help us in that respect, is she? She looks like she wants to stick around. Come on, and the longer she sticks around, the more problematic it's going to be for us. More boost. Come on, get her, get her. It's just another example of how horrible these psionic are to get down, especially when they happen to be a mini-boss. Thankfully, we did find the key. Okay. Oh, there is a chest in the back there. The bear would have crucified me for not picking this up. She knows the locations of every chest, so much so that if any of you know the what's the one with all the red bosses in the salt marsh, the smugglers something or other, is it? It's a tough one, and there's one section where you go down into the bilge with a load of rats. The bear left me with all the rats and went straight for the area where the chest is, neglecting to remember that you have to kill the rats first before the chest spawns. Okay, can we push on while the boost is still running? Dangerous move actually, because this is where Purple died last time with all these necros. I'm going to have to be very, very careful. That's how the death started last time. There aren't nearly as many of them here though this time. I think we're coming into the kitchen area. We honestly, we don't have to do anything here. We can just negotiate our way down here. Short of creating dungeon alert, we're free to just to pass through. That's our lovely upgraded salt marsh ethereal ring that I triggered there. I think I am going to stop and engage these because I don't want to pass by too many and create dungeon alert for the final fight. Okay, couple of cats to... oh my god. Oh my goodness. I don't have the Hood of Unrest either, do I? So trigger the boost, trigger everything.
No!
That's about right from the sentient gem there. This is going to be an absolute nightmare. I'm not sure what more I can do. Just stand and fight, try and pick on the most damaged one. That thing's hardly damaged at all. What's it doing? Is it healing? More boost. My god. I think we've looked into something in the colours of the Queen that froze that thing, without which... oh, I dread to think.
Isn't this the best part of adventuring?
They're bad enough as they are, without something like that to help them. And this is, bear in mind, this is on Elite, not Reaper. So, I like to go and do the talking and then immediately run out so they can't all surround me in here. Where am I going? I'm going back in there. Let's go. Can we go invis? That abundant step thing, the spring attack, comes in really handy for avoiding tricky situations as well as offense. See there was no sign of any psionic thing. And we've pretty well torn them to pieces. initiative levels, you miserable buggers. Does that mean I took longer than 20 minutes, 15 minutes? I don't think so. I think it probably means they dispelled my... Come and get some if you want to. I'm just in the mood for you. See, we saved against the web trick there, which makes me think it's maybe a reflex save.
The remaining undead crumble to dust as the ritual chamber burns.
I'm thinking, as we can't really do Reaper this time around, to maybe stick in Epic for a second life and do the Reapers the second time around. See how we go then. Not videoing it, but just for my discovery, and because Mike was kind enough to drop us these drow weapons for this life, so I really would like to measure it against previous ones, which isn't quite possible at the moment. I'm assuming that once this event is over and the 4 new dungeons are uncovered, things will return to normal and these psionic things will be removed. I'm almost certain that will be the case, because I mean, I'm reading posts in the forums about people or groups literally stopping playing until this stuff is removed. I wouldn't go to that extreme, but I will say that it has caused me to change quite significantly the levels at which I would consider playing. I think we've seen there that whenever the psionics pop up on even on Elite, it's more than challenging when they pop up 2 or more at a time, especially when you're alone. Right, I will finish where I started, in the square of the great trees. I think that's a pretty nice scene on which to end. We'll call that a victory, although the whole epic thing feels a little hollow now, because the idea is we kind of push ourselves and the build as far as we can go, and the realistic limit at the moment is probably Elite. So yeah, just bad timing, I guess, on that score. I think the event started just as we were in late heroic, didn't it? And yeah, we began to notice then how powerful these things could be, but it wasn't until arrival in epic. I think it was the very first quest, and I get silly anyway. Normally, as a level 20, I always go into a quest on Reaper 1 just to see where we are. But I didn't quite expect what happened. There were 3 opponents only facing us in what was it, the Snitch. 1 or 2 of them were those psionic, and we just got absolutely slaughtered, and not even close to doing anything. So that was like a proper welcome to how the epic journey was going to be, I think. Okay, rant over. I've spent far too much time talking about this illithid thing, which by the time you view this recording is probably over and done with anyway, and far too little time talking about the build, which is it's engaging and fun. It's not often I play an action boost centered playstyle, because I'm not really one. You'll have probably noticed I struggle big time to remember even to click the no step mist and the haste from the Horizon Walker tree, and that's the whole reason for being in that tree. Those points could have been invested elsewhere if not for, you know, going in there and taking the trans. So I need to book my ideas up on that score, but I do at least remember our short-term boosts, like the growing storm, the action boost haste, the elaborate parry, and the dance of death. I'm getting into that. we just don't have much in the way of special attacks. Only really the exposing strike and for nasty things marking the target to remove their fortification. So I suppose we do have some things up our sleeve. Right, on that happy note, I will leave it there. Thank you very much as always for looking, and we'll speak to you in the next one. Take care.